camera. Just.
So don't worry about it. So just a little. I always forget to do an intro. Just a little introduction. This is episode 25 of The Most Vulnerable Player.
Nice.
And we're sitting down with Logan Maxwell.
Hey guys.
Yeah. But yeah. So how you lived in El Paso your whole life?
Yes.
Yeah. And you went to Montwood?
I did.
Yeah. And you have how many siblings do you have?
I have 3 siblings, 2 sisters, and a brother.
Mm-hmm. And you guys pretty close?
All of us are super close. Yes.
Yeah. You hang out pretty often. Well, they're kind of a lot of them are out of town, right?
Right. My sister Morgan lives here. She moved out though, so she's not in the house. And then my brother Chance, he lives here right now, but he's gone for a while. He's living somewhere else.
And Chance has the clothing brand.
Right. Cash Everett.
Yeah.
And then I run the girls' account, which is Cash Kens. And stay tuned for that because there's a lot of drops coming this year. And then my sister Jordan, she lives in Dallas. So she's getting her master's degree right now.
Does she play basketball?
Yeah, she played basketball.
Yeah.
She doesn't play no more, but she played basketball all her life.
Were you an athlete?
I was. I did volleyball and I ran track.
Yeah.
Short distance.
Short distance.
Not long distance.
Yeah, we've been talking actually about long distance running, and I don't think you're.
I'm not built for that.
No.
200 meters only, 4x1, 4x2. You won't catch me doing no 800 meter.
What is it? No more than 2 miles.
No more than 2 miles.
Yeah.
Maybe. As the year goes on, maybe I'll start picking up on it. But
a little 5K wouldn't hurt.
Doing too much.
Doing too much. No, yeah. So did you? You said you actually had some offers to play volleyball.
Yes, I did, and I did not take them.
No.
But it's okay. I feel like everything in life happens for a reason. I chose not to go play, and I just think about the stuff that I have going on for myself right now, and I'm grateful for it. I can't complain. You can't live life with any regrets. I sometimes think about it, but like we were talking about the other day, I just feel like you're destined for something greater, and maybe at that time I wasn't meant to go play volleyball just because I had something better for myself and better in mind, and I did. And my brother is one of the ones that helped me learn what that good was, and it was pushing social media and starting a clothing brand.
So when you were in senior year, you're about to graduate, or you're graduating, is that what you had in mind? You just wanted to kind of grow your own brand? And it
is. I think seeing my brother and how he was with his brand, and my brother actually graduated from the Art Institute of San Francisco with his cinematography degree. So I would constantly see him film videos and just constantly working, constantly putting in effort, tuning out the outside world and tuning into his own imagination, creativity.
His work is he's very creative.
Yes.
Individual.
And it just motivated me. I look up to my brother a lot, and I feel like everything he's tried to shape me to become, I'm slowly seeing myself become that person. And it's a beautiful sight to see, because I have nothing in me that can give thanks to him, because he deserves it all. He has helped me with so much. I've learned so much out of him, and he actually went to school for this type of stuff. So it's if I would have gone to school for it, I'm learning the knowledge right there for free,
exactly. Yeah, I think it's because I ended up graduating from college, but at the time, first of all, I switched my major 3 times. I really didn't even know what exactly I wanted to. I graduated with psychology, but honestly, at that point, I had already picked up videography and and cinematography and stuff. So a lot of it was just kind of wanting to get done with it. But the more I look back at it, I'm kind of thankful just the experiences it provided me with, the people I met. But with that, it's especially nowadays, you can just learn from so many different just platforms. Areas and platforms and people more than anything. I think that's something people really need to understand is I think they say your network is your net worth. And that really hit me this year.
Yeah.
Because it's there's so many people that you can just learn from that are probably in your in your, if you're not immediate circle, someone that you can like get in contact with, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of it is just kind of like be having an open mind about it, because some people, they don't, even though that they may not know so much about like that one thing, some of us like to feel like we do,
right?
And a lot of us can't take like just criticism or just like criticism. Yeah, exactly. And,
right.
And it's just more about having an open mind and letting yourself be taught, really
be free to knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's what I think I'm grateful for too, is just my whole family in general. I feel like my dad, I mean, he went to school for 12 years. He's a doctor, so he has a lot of knowledge in the business side of everything. My mom, she owned her own businesses. My mom was a real estate agent. So she just knows a lot with numbers, accounting, things like that. So my sister, she's on like the creativity side as well. She used to have her clothing store here, Maxwell Style. My sister Jordan, she's good with analytics. She's good with all that stuff. Making websites. Yeah. She made my brother's website. So like we just all have different type of knowledge in our family to where we could just all come to one and grow an empire, you know, grow something really exciting. And you know that we have like an army. We have an
Y'all
army.
Y'all got a starting 5.
Yeah, no, literally. And that's our brand.
Yeah,
5.
Exactly.
Our logo.
That's crazy. They got a starting 5. You might have even like some bench players, and then just like
you
just got the whole some 6 man. But that's so dope.
Yeah.
Like just, I think it's like so dope that especially you guys are so close and you guys all bring something to the table.
Right.
Yeah, that's fire. That's dope. So what people see now is like, they look at you and your brand, and like you're pretty successful in what you do as far as like just social media, the clothing brand, and now like I see a lot more gym content,
right?
Which I think is like really good as well. But how did you get started in that path for someone who kind of wants to kind of get started? What is
social media?
Yeah, and just like when you first like started growing your following on social media. What is something that you that you did, and like how did you kind of get the ball rolling in that?
So I started TikTok during COVID, and during COVID there was really nothing to do, and I feel like that's when TikTok started getting a lot of attention. And one day I just decided, like, you know what, I'm gonna post. Didn't think anything of it, and my first video that I had posted, I had got like 900,000 views, and I was like, oh shoot.
What was it?
It was just me in the mirror lip singing. Like I did not expect that to blow up at all.
And this was during COVID?
Yes. Yeah. So that was like my very first video, and once I posted that, I was like, oh damn, like this shit must be easy, you know? Yeah. Like, but it's not easy. I would kind of read a lot of the comments, a few of the comments, and there was some, it was mainly like positive comments, like, oh, you're so pretty, blah, blah, blah. But then there were some comments that I knew, like, oh, like this is what comes with social media, you know, like just a lot of bots, people that are behind fake accounts and things like that. I ignored it, whatever. And then I started seeing what people were doing on TikTok and their trends and transition videos, things like that. So I started just following along, like the trends that were popping were dances. So I started doing dances with my sister Jordan, just for fun though. It was nothing like, oh, like a schedule, you know, we're gonna do transition video today, dance tomorrow, nothing. We were just free spirited with it. And we started posting, doing dance trends. I did one with my cousin. That one blew up. That was my next video, and it got like 1.1 million. Damn. And I was like, oh, okay, like I know what people are like to see, you know? So I just consistently kept posting with that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go live. I want to get to know my people. I want to get to know the people that are commenting. So I was like, I'm going to do a get ready with me on live. So I went live one day and I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. And I had like 2,000 views, and then it would go up like 2,000 views, like when I was doing my makeup. And then I was like, okay, like this is dope. Like I'm talking to people are asking me like what makeup products I'm using.
2,000 in the live.
Yeah.
Damn.
So there was like 2,000 people. I know, that's how I was like, like
That's
that's
a
crazy
lot
to
of
think
people,
about.
bro.
Yeah, so it was like 2,000 people watching me, and I was like, I kind of started getting like, oh shoot, like, because then people were like, oh my god, you skipped my question, like, oh my god, you're not answering me. But that was like my first time going live, so I was like, just be patient with me, you know. And then I started going live every day and every day and every day, and my views started going up, 5,000, 6,000. The most I've had in a live is like 14K. And that was like a crazy live because it's just like there's so many people from different places, Canada, India, like
That's a
TikTok.
small arena. That's crazy.
Literally. And
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. But yes, like it would always be when I was doing my outfit. Like when I would do my makeup, it would be like 2,000, 3,000 people. And right when I started asking people help with options for like what I should wear for the day, it was like boom, like my views just went up like crazy. So I started seeing what people liked and things like that. But it was a process. It was a lot to deal with, I guess, in the sense of like there is a lot of negative things that come with social media, but there's so much positive people and so much people that you are impacting and so much people that do like you and so many people that look forward to your videos, that look forward to you going live. Like little did I know I was people's comfort person, you know, like when I would go live, people would be like DM me afterwards and they'd be like, I just want you to know, like, I'm a silent watcher, but like everything you were giving advice to other people, like, thank you. Like, I needed to hear that, you know? And I think that's what keeps me going and keeps me like on my toes is like the fact that I know not everyone is going to be a fan and not everyone is going to be supportive, but there is people out there that do need an extra like piece of advice that I gave them or that they need an extra boost of confidence, you know, like go buy this makeup product, like get up, get ready, like feel good about yourself, you know. I was just mainly like just motivating the girls because a lot of my following was girls. So I just felt like I should just make it a safe place, and I made it a safe place. And then I kind of stopped doing social media just because I felt like it gets overwhelming. It does get overwhelming. I stopped doing social media for a little bit, and then I tried getting back on like 2 months later, and then that's when I started not liking TikTok because it was like you're shadow banned, you're this, you're that, like your views go down, things like that. And I kind of drifted towards Instagram, and I was like, honestly, like I'm gonna start doing Instagram. I'm gonna start trying to grow my following on there. And I started getting good brand deals. Like I was working with Bloom. I have Fashion Nova now. I had Opoly. And they're like brands that I've always wanted to work with, you know, like
Did you reach out or they reached out?
they reached out to me, yeah. But I feel like TikTok is the platform that allows those brands to look at you.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then they'll go to your Instagram from there. But I wanted my Instagram to kind of like be dope pictures, like cool vibes, like just where people can just, it's a dope personality and cool, like I'll follow her, you know. And sure. I liked putting on fits. My brother, like he had a clothing brand, so I was like, bet, like I'll wear all the clothes like you guys that you make and things like that, and we could just push my social media and then it'll grow your brand and it'll just be good. And it has been good. Advice I would give to people trying to start social media would be to do it regardless of what another individual has to say. Whether you're doing something good, whether you're doing something good or bad, people are going to talk about you.
Yeah.
And I don't think any girl should have the fear of posting a video and having the worry of another individual talking about them. I feel like if you're true to yourself, you're true to yourself. And if you're confident with yourself, express that, own up to it, you know. I don't think that the social media aspect should change. How do I say it? Like what we see online is fake. Like what we see online is fake. And I will be one to say that is there's so many times where I will try to look happy and it's all an act. So I don't want anyone having to like, it's hard to explain.
Do you feel obligated to like always have to look like 100% on your videos and in your photos?
No, absolutely not.
Do you feel like a lot of people feel like they have to?
No, yeah.
No, yeah.
I do feel like that, but I feel like I get ready. I feel like I get ready almost every day just because when you look good, you feel good, you know? And I feel like it's something that is like, okay, if I wake up, I shower, get ready, do my hair, put on a cute outfit, I know I'm going to have a good day. Versus if I just shower and just like, whatever, rush, do my hair, like, and then walk out, it's like, damn, like, I'm not put together, you know? So, but I do go out like that too, you know, where there's times where I won't put on makeup or I won't do anything, but I'll still record myself like at the gym. Like I'll still post it. I don't feel the need to always be dolled up 24/7. And I feel like a lot of girls do, which is perfectly fine. Like look good all the time, 24/7, like rock that shit. But a lot of younger girls feel the need that they have to do that to feel better about themselves, you know, in the wrong way. They feel like they need to fit those beauty standards.
In my opinion, I feel like, I mean, it's hard because I'm obviously not a woman, but
right.
You would think like if people see that other side of you where you're like, you're not always you make it a point to like show that you're not always like 100%. I feel like people really like fuck with that, or like when you may not even be feeling that well, because I have at times, like I used to vlog a lot, and like there's days where I know I needed to vlog, but I was like, damn bro, I really do not have the energy, the mental capacity to just like talk to the camera right now. But like it's definitely like, I'm sure, do you experience that sometimes?
No, yeah, for sure. That goes back to like when I would do TikTok lives. I felt like since I was going live every day at like 3:00, people were looking forward to it, but I wasn't. This is when I was going out a lot too. So I was constantly getting ready every day for work, you know, every day to go out during the weekend. And when I wasn't feeling like good during the transition of me realizing that I needed to stop, I didn't want to go live, because when I would go live, it'd be like, oh, what party are you going to? Like people just commenting like, what party are you going to? What event are you going to? And at that time I wasn't feeling my true best. So like I didn't want to give any energy to people that was fake, you know, like that made it seem like, oh, like I'm 100% me, you know? And that's why I did stop going live for a while. And I've expressed that to people on TikTok and people that would just DM me like, I miss your TikTok lives. Like, but I'm glad like you're not showing us like a fake side of you, you know? And it was because they knew if I was going live, I was just putting on a mask to try to make other people happy when I wasn't happy within myself. And I really feel like energy transfers. Like energy definitely transfers in the sense of I could have the worst energy behind the screen and I'm reading comments and I'm answering, but right when I see like a negative comment, like the trigger in me can snap, you know? And it's like, that's not who I am. Like, and I needed to know to take steps back when I needed to take steps back. And if it meant me not going live for 2 weeks just so I could get my mental right, I'm going to do that, you know?
Yeah. There's some hurtful shit on comments, man. And like, it's, people like, and yeah, some of them are for sure bots, and it's a lot of private accounts from like what I've seen, like personally, but it's like, people sometimes they don't understand like how much that can really affect someone. Like, really, it can
people
be really
are
bad,
ruthless.
you know? Yeah,
ruthless
for sure. And it's like, and also like people at least that don't do like social media, they're not too heavily in that. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
Like I was like, just from talking to you, like you literally are like recording and then like editing like constantly.
No, right.
And just to have that like that content, and it's really inspiring, especially from a content creator like myself. But it does take like time. a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of work.
Yeah.
Have you learned to kind of enjoy that process?
I have, honestly. Like, I look forward to it now. I feel like when I gym and I make like content gymming, the first thing I do when I get home is literally just get it done. Like edit, like put on my good music. Like after I know I'm gonna take my bath, like read my journal.
Bubbles,
you know,
or no bubbles? No, just kidding.
Bubbles on the weekends.
On the weekends, okay.
No, but yeah, I just feel like I'm in a routine now, in a routine that I actually enjoy. It's waking up, reading, writing down all my thoughts, journaling, making my breakfast, having my lunch, going to train a client, coming back home, working on my clothing brand with my brother, like the FaceTime calls, all that stuff. Going back to the gym at 7 for another client, finishing my second workout. Then right away after that, it's like go home, edit, journal, bath, bed. Like I just feel like I love my routine right now. And it's changed me and shaped me to become a better person. Because if you would have asked me what my schedule was like last year, like during March, April, it would be wake up, get ready, go live on TikTok, go to work, go to sleep. Like I wasn't even eating in the middle of that, like it's just been a huge shift. It's been a huge change, and I love the version of myself that I'm becoming.
Yeah, that's so dope.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who like maybe they're in a position where like they maybe are not currently happy with their situation? Like it could be you when you were bartending, like you felt like you had to make a switch,
right?
But a lot of people kind of just stay in that because it's like I
feel like it's because a lot of people are comfortable where they're at and they're afraid of change. And I feel like no one should be afraid of change. If you're comfortable where you're at, you're in the wrong. Like you should always feel uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable like that, but uncomfortable in a way that you want to do more for yourself. Uncomfortable where you're not satisfied with yourself because you're capable of achieving more and doing more and learning more. You have to always be open to other people's feelings. You have to be open to learning about other people. You have to be open to learning new hobbies that you may enjoy and honestly may execute on them. Like someone can just think like, oh, okay, I don't know how to sew, but let me just find out how to sew, let me learn about it. And it's like you could be so great in making clothes, sewing, and good, like you're comfortable now, like you know that you already accomplished that. Like get uncomfortable in something else, learn a new hobby, learn something else that you could learn about yourself. A lot of us think that we're only good at what we think we're good at. And that's like, say for example me, like I'm like, okay, I'm good at editing videos. Like my brother will humble me and be like, no, like this is a good video, and it's like, damn, okay, I could learn about that, but I'm so comfortable with my own technique that I'm not freely willing to learn about his. But like that's a lot of people's mindsets, is like they don't want to learn. Me, I want to learn. You want to learn, And I just think that's why a lot of people are stuck. They're stuck because they're comfortable. And you could be happy where you're at. I'm not trying to change anyone's ways of like where they're comfortable at. But I just feel like we're all capable of doing more as humans. And we're all blessed with the ability to do so much. We have hands, feet, like so much you could do in this lifetime that you're living, and go do it. Like go do it, go learn about it. And I had to learn that myself. I was so comfortable with just who I was that I wasn't willing to change anything about myself, at first. But I feel like you do need to be uncomfortable to be able to just learn more about yourself.
For sure. And the thing is, like you mentioned, and it's a good point, where like you're not saying like some people are perfectly happy where they're at,
and that's fine.
Yes. However, it's not okay if you feel it inside, like that you like, because I feel like we all have that like that compass within us where it's like we know we could be doing more. You may not even know what that is, but it's something, and like it's just you need to act on that, because like I think people like waste so much time just kind of living with that and kind of just distracting themselves, like with whether it's like alcohol or whatever, just to kind of get rid of that feeling that is with them, that feeling of needing that, or like knowing that they're capable of more. And it's just like, yeah, you have to, because I mean, you just kind of owe it to yourself and your family and the people around you. Like Like I feel like you have to. There's something telling you that,
Right.
But yeah.
But if you're happy where you're at, you're happy. Yes. I'm not trying to say anything other than that. I'm just saying that we're human and we got gifted with the blessing of knowing how much we can do and how much we're capable of doing. So if you want to learn something, go and try it. Don't be afraid of failure, because at least you could say that you tried.
Facts. What do you feel like? So I started this podcast like revolves around mental health.
Right.
That's kind of like why I started it, just because there are like some really good platforms. But I just wanted to have my own version of it, and just, I think it's very important like for people to hear these like type of conversations, because they can relate to it,
Right.
What's the, like, I guess mentally, when it comes to like mental hurdles you've had to overcome, what's like one of the hardest ones you've had to overcome within yourself when it comes to mental health?
Self-doubt. I will say that there comes a time where everyone has self-doubt within themselves. Maybe not everyone, but I feel like you go through stages in your life where you're like, damn, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like you're stuck and you feel like you're not capable of breaking through and moving on and being okay. I feel like you constantly fight this mental blockage within yourself when you start comparing yourself to others, and when you start thinking that you're not worth more than what you are, and there's times where you lose confidence, you don't recognize the person in the mirror, you're going through, I guess, shame for what you've put yourself through, and shame for how you used to be or what you used to do. And you're just like, damn, like people recognize the old version of you, when they can't even meet the new version of you, And I feel like that's a big thing that would mentally, I guess, block me from being able to trust people. I feel like I need to really be able to trust people, but through everything that I've gone through, I feel like you can't trust no one, besides your family. And like my mom always told me, you have 5 people in your circle and that's it. Like 5 people in your circle, your friends shouldn't be more than a hand. You should only have a handful of friends. And I feel like before, I had like 30 hands, and that was a toxic trait, which now it's such a mental blockage to try to get through everything that like I went through back then and everything that I had to overcome. So I have a lot of self-doubt in like myself, like, damn, like, was I really all those things people said? Like, was I really who these bots were saying I was? Just a downer on myself, I guess you could say. And that's a big mental blockage, but I do feel like I've already overcame it. There is times where you are going to think about it, but it's like I overcame it by knowing that who people meet now is not who people knew back then, And if I don't approach you in person or say hi to you in person, it's nothing personal. It's just we're not on the same level, I feel like there's certain people in my life that they remind me of my past and they remind me of where I was at a certain point in my life. And I feel like I've grown from that. So I don't want no association with that, or I don't want no involvement with any of that. And my peace is so protected now. Like I feel like I've came to peace with so many things, and I've came to peace with realizing that peace is the greatest thing a person can have. And the peace comes from you. The peace comes from how you're able to block out the outside noise and tune into your own noise. And if you guys read 48 Laws of Power, like you guys know how manipulative people can be and how you can manipulate people back, And I feel like the greatest thing I've learned during my mental blockages was to stay silent. Stay silent and someone's gonna be louder than you, and you just have to listen, not react. And I feel like when a lot of people listen and they don't react, you're already greater than that person. You're already holding back so much that you could have said, but you didn't, because you know that nothing is worth a reaction. Nothing is worth a reaction. And when people give things a reaction, you're giving it your energy, and you're giving it the time of the day that people don't deserve. You're giving it a part of you that you've already healed. You're giving it a part of you that isn't you anymore. When someone tries triggering something that you've already worked to overcome, it's literally the devil. Mm-hmm. It's literally the devil trying to get you to pull you back into who you used to be. And I don't think that's something that I'll ever allow myself to happen to me again. And that was the biggest mental blockage that I did allow back then, is letting people pull me back down 5 steps when I had already went up 5. So yeah, I feel like that's been my biggest mental blockage, but I don't have any no more. Like, I feel like I'm just free spirited now. Whatever happens. I feel like I put everything in God. Like, everything is in his hands. Everything is his will, his word, and his promises. And I just feel like he'll put me through certain situations to teach me a lesson, and he has. And I just always come out stronger than what it was, And I'm forever grateful for that. I'm forever grateful that I'm just able to not overthink any certain type of situations, because I know that God is going to handle it. Like,
were you always kind of like close to your faith and close to God?
I've always been close to my faith. I grew up Catholic. I am Christian now, but I will say that I knew of God before I didn't know God. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's a big difference in knowing of God and like actually feeling God, And before I would constantly pray. I would constantly do a lot of things, but also I was putting myself in the same positions that I was praying for me to get over. You have to meet God halfway. He isn't going to just pull you all the way from like the beginning, and be like, okay, follow all my footsteps. Like, you have to meet him somewhere. Mm-hmm. And if you're not making the effort, you're not meeting God halfway, like he's not moving. He's right here. You have to make some effort in order for him to keep following you, And before, I was praying like, dang, like God's not working in my favor. Like, I don't know like what I'm doing wrong, but that's also when I was partying every day and I was doing this, but I was also praying for peace, and I was praying for just the wrong things, like, and doing the total opposite of it. And not until like, I'd say July of 2023, I did this 12-week challenge. And I quit the bar scene like around May. Mm-hmm. And I did this 12-week challenge like in July. Yeah, in July. And that, actually, my friend had just asked me about it. Watch. I'm going to read you guys what the 12-week challenge was. Bet. So the 12-week challenge I did was 5-day training, 2 strength and stretch exercises, half a gallon of water before you eat breakfast, 1 gallon of water throughout the day, no drinking alcohol, read 20 pages of a book a day, 4 meals, 2 protein shakes, no going out unless it's a birthday or event, and even then you couldn't drink. Mm-hmm. Journal and pray / read Bible for 30 minutes before you get on your phone in the morning. Going to bed before 1 unless you're working. No meals past 10:30. Coffee only once a week, because I'm a big coffee drinker, so I had to just add that in there. And then meditate for 20 minutes before bed every night. So it's kind of like the 75-day hard, but I added a lot more stuff. Mm-hmm. But this 12-week challenge, I feel like it really made me close to God and knowing who God is, because of every day I was dedicating my life to him in the morning before I even touched my phone, before I even went on social media. And I just feel like I started off with Genesis, and I just feel like after I read Genesis, it was just like, I was just feeling mentally good, like feeling so like just overall good in general because I was eating good. I was going to bed early. I was waking up early. I would only post what I wanted to, and I didn't feel obligated to just post to post. I used to like post like, oh damn, I'm gonna lose followers, or oh damn, like I need to stay consistent. And like after I did the 12-week challenge, I was like I don't care who follows me. I don't care who doesn't follow me. I am just gonna live my life. I am just going to put everything in God's hands, and whatever is meant for me is for me, and whatever isn't. Like, and I realized during that challenge so much about myself that I never even knew I had inside of me. I realized so much. I just tuned deeply into my inner thoughts and inner feelings, my emotional self, my physical self, and my mental self. And I was just like, damn, like, it's up. Like, it is literally go time. I am not playing around with myself anymore. My body, I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to take care of my mental. I'm going to take care of my energy. And God was just working through me this whole time, like just realizing. And that's when I knew, like, okay, God pulled me out of the bar scene. This is the first step, so that's a step into meeting God closer, halfway. Then I started doing this challenge, and it's like, okay, Bible every day, pray, things like that. No alcohol, no going out, no this, no that. And it's like, okay, little by little, like I'm getting closer, to that halfway mark. And right now I feel like I reached that mark to where I'm just on a path with God. I'm on a path just learning each and every day about him. And I'm sorry to my non-believers. I feel like this is very godly like. But I truly feel like he is the one that made a difference in my life.
Yeah.
And I've tried this year. I literally was like, I am going to try to stop cussing too. It is hard, and I told you about that, but that is my next step. That is my next main step, is like stop cussing. So we'll see how that goes. I think I cussed in the beginning of this podcast, but
it's so
that's
one
hard.
of the hardest ones. Yeah. Because it's kind of like, you kind of feel like, even though it's not necessary, you kind of feel that emotion. So it's just like, just throw it in there,
Yeah,
but,
no, for real.
Nah, but I feel that. What do you what's your favorite? Is your favorite? What? How do we call it? Is it an excerpt or proverb? Is it like the sayings from the Bible where it's like 4:13 or like just something like that? What's like?
Hey, I see what you did there.
Is that it? Is that it?
It is.
Because I feel like I've seen.
4:13.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that you post about it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I have a lot of favorite. I think it all depends, like I was telling you, the seasons in life that I go through.
Yeah.
I feel like there's Philippians 4:13 to where I know like Christ is gonna strengthen me, and he's gonna guide me through everything that I need to. But there is certain Bible verses that help me throughout different time periods of my life. And say I'm going through stress or anxiety, I know what Bible verse I have to go to, say I'm going through like self-doubt. I know what Bible verse is going to help me pull myself out of it, anxiety, stress, friendships, relationships, like just anything. There's always a verse out there, and my verse might not be what helps you, your verse is your verse, my verse is my verse. And yeah, I just feel like it's different seasons in your life and different time frames to where a verse becomes my favorite. Like it's really, I don't really have a specific one that is.
I feel you. What I like, we were talking about this the other day because I asked you about seasons, and basically like you said how you're gonna go through different like just kind of ebbs and flows in life, right? Like some season might be like a down season, maybe like you don't feel like your best, or maybe certain things are kind of like just working against you, it feels like.
Right.
And then you kind of made a point where it's like you kind of stop once you kind of feel like you kind of leave it up to God to kind of guide you, or like you stop trying to control everything.
Yeah.
it's like you kind of feel more set, grounded, and just more at peace.
Right.
Would you say?
It's because there's peace in every storm, and I feel like even though people may not believe in God or believe in God, we all go through things in life, all of us, like, and we all have emotions which some can try to defeat us, and it could be one after another after another after another, and you're like, damn, like, when am I gonna get a break, you know? But I just feel like stand still. Like, stand still. Your breakthrough is coming. Like, your season is about to end. Like, you just have to really remain strong mentally, physically, and emotionally within yourself to know that God is going to handle what needs to be handled, you know? And you just got to sit back. Like, you could be going through the worst of the worst, but you woke up another day, so your story is not finished writing. You know, your story is still being written. And I just feel like that's a big thing that people need to hear is you could be going through depression, and you could feel like you're useless, you know, you're worthless, and you have no purpose in life. But I will say, if you wake up the next day, you do have a purpose in this life, and you do have something to prove, and God is not finished with you. So don't finish yourself, you know, don't give up yourself. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. We do need to experience tough times as people to make us learn and grow as a person. And if we never experienced hard times, we would all be screwed. Like, we would all be screwed.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think even though like some of those times, like when you're in the mix, it's like, damn, this is tough. But yeah, like you kind of look back, like once you kind of make it out of it, because you eventually do, which is like, I think like it's inevitable that you're gonna make it through. But I think the hardest thing is just reminding yourself that, like, in the moment, because I think what people do is like they feel like they see, like, let's just say they're at a really low point, or they know they have to do so much to kind of get better. They start looking ahead, and like just kind of like it can be overwhelming with all you're looking is like just looking at ahead and like how far you have to go, when in reality, like, it's just best to kind of take it a step at a time and focus on like what you can do now as opposed to all that you have to do, you know?
Yeah, you can only control what you can. And that's literally the best way to put it. If you can only control one situation at a time, then only control that. Then worry about the next. And once you complete that, then you worry about the next. But trying to take on everything at once, you're going to get overstimulated, and you're going to just go crazy. Literally go crazy trying to figure out a solution to something that is so easy to fix if you just stay grounded and know that you are going to be able to get through it. You just need to relax, you know, and take a deep breath and know that you're going to be okay. You know, you're going to be okay, because what you thought was your hardest situation years ago is a breeze now. You know, like what you thought you couldn't get over 2 years ago, that relationship, that friendship, that family curse, anything it is, like, in that moment you were like, I hate my life, you know? And now it's like, damn, looking back at it, it's like something like, why was I tripping? You know, like, why was I overthinking that situation? But it's only because it's in the moment when we're worrying so much. But a year from now, it's going to be like, I was stressing about that. Like, I was literally down bad over that, you know? And that's just something that I really see for myself is I think I get put through the worst situations, but then I get put through something different, and I'm like, damn, like, that wasn't anything compared to what I'm dealing with now, you know?
For sure. And you kind of like, one thing I've started to kind of realize is you're gonna, when you face tough situations, it's really all about like how you view it and your perspective on it.
Right.
And just changing that perspective of like, let's just say there's something like an obstacle that's like really hard, or like something's just really bad that you feel like you have to get through. It's, if you look at it in more of a way, it's like, damn, all right, like, this is a test, but let's see if I can do it. Like, like, it's gonna, like, can I really do this? Like, if I can get through this, then imagine all that I can do and get through, you know? So as opposed to looking at it as like, damn, like just complaining about it and like just kind of dwelling in and comparing your situation to maybe someone else's. It's more just like, all right, no, this was put in my way for a reason. How are we going to get through it? Right. And what am I going to be capable of, like, on the other side of that if I get through this, you know?
Changing your mindset. Exactly. Yeah. Mindset is everything. Mm-hmm. If you have a horrible mindset, you got to flip that switch. Just turn it into something positive, because your mindset says a lot about you and a person. Yeah,
for sure. Do you have a love language?
A love language? Yeah. I'd say my love language is gifting.
Gifting? You like giving gifts? Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, that's one of mine too. Like, but I didn't discover that until like pretty recently.
For real? What was yours before?
I think I'm a mix of everything, but like I think words of affirmation is pretty big.
That would be my second one.
Yeah, especially in like just creating like just content and everything. Like, right, it can be like, if you don't get that like feedback, sometimes it's like
a reassurance.
Like, yeah, exactly. Even though sometimes it's not the best way to look at it, but it feels good. Like, just that those words are big. Yeah. Or just like one of my favorite things is when someone tells me like. And it doesn't have to come from a place of like them wanting anything. It's literally just them saying like, yo, I see what you're doing.
Like proud.
I'm proud. Like, you're doing really good.
No, yeah.
Like, that's the best.
That's a big one, yeah. I feel like, and when it comes from people that you don't really expect it either, you know? Yeah. Like people that you don't talk to on the daily or anything. It's like just a random can be like, yo, like I see what you're doing. Like, I'm proud of you. It's like, damn. Like love.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, that is a big one.
It hits for sure. And we need to do
more of it. Yeah, for sure. So much more of it. Yeah. I feel like there's so many people out there that are doing a phenomenal job and not hearing it, so they feel like they're not doing a good job, you know?
You're doing a great job.
I was about to say, I'm like, you're doing a great job.
No, for sure. It's just like little shit, bro. Like, I literally just yesterday, someone, like I was in the restroom and then I was walking out, and then dude that was walking was like, dude, I love your fit. I was like, thank you, bro. I love yours too. Like, appreciate you. And it wasn't even like, we didn't say anything after that. It was just like that. And like, I was
it's because compliments are free. Yeah. Compliments are free. And I feel like if someone looks good, or if someone is doing something out of the goodness of their heart, you could let them know. Like, it takes nothing out of a person to let another person know how good they're doing, or how good their fit looks, or if their makeup looks fire, or anything, like their hair looks dope. Like, it's free. That's the only thing free in life, is being kind, being nice, being just a good person.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So what do you feel like when you think about? So we'll get in like to dating a little bit, because.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me take a little bit.
I was gonna say.
Sorry. Oh my god.
You gotta add that.
Bro, it went down. It just went down.
The wrong tube.
My fault.
Yo.
That was terrible. All right, it's because I switched drinks. I need to go back to this.
Liquid death.
I felt like I was about to die right there. Jeez.
Chill.
All right, we're good.
I'm like, and action.
Action, yeah. That's not going in. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe. So yeah. So dating nowadays. What do you feel like has? Because like your mom and dad, they're married. I mean, they're obviously married, right?
Right.
So you kind of have like a pretty good example of like a what's the word? A traditional, more like just a healthy marriage, really.
Right.
So
100%.
Yeah, when you see that, like how it is nowadays, like what do you think has contributed to like just kind of the struggles that kind of people have dating and just kind of finding something really like special and genuine with someone else?
Like, what's the problem with it now?
Yeah, like just what are factors that you feel like have influenced that in a negative way?
I feel like Okay, as someone that grew up seeing a very old school love and that traditional love, and where my dad is opening the car doors for my mom, like getting her flowers, like, like just treating a woman with respect and installing that in his girls, which is me and my sisters. Like, I feel like it's so normalized nowadays for a woman to admire a man that does that, and it's like that's the normality. Like, what do you guys like? It's like, oh, since he's not cheating on me, he's treating me like so good,
Yeah.
And cheating is so normalized nowadays that it's like insane. Like, it's an ego boost, I think, for men, and for girls they like getting like their lick back, or like they like just keeping them there. They like the toxicity. The toxicity is what's the problem nowadays. It's too normalized, and too many people are just falling in love with that, falling in love with getting treated like crap, and it's sad to see. It is super sad to see. And I will say I went through a relationship to where I was disrespected too, and I put up with it for a while, but it was just like, at least I got out of it, So many girls will just stay because they can't break their generational curses within their own family. And it's like, oh, I grew up seeing that, so that's normal to them, And there's so many parents that are divorced and they are coming from separate families, and then the boyfriend is coming from separate families as well. So it's like when they meet each other, it's like, oh, you have a broken kind of family, I do too. Like, this is the normality of our relationship,
Sure.
I grew up with my dad treating my mom this way. Oh, I grew up with my mom treating my dad this way. And it's like, oh, okay, so when stuff happens between that relationship, it's like, we've been through this, it's not any like shock to them, or it's not
they're
any,
used to it. They're comfortable
with it. And a lot of people don't want to break generational curses, and don't want to break how their parents used to be, or how their parents, grew up, like how they grew up. And I think a lot of people are, if I'm being honest, there's too many women out there that are letting themselves be disrespected and have their body get played with, like if it's just your body is a temple, woman. Like, your body is a temple. And I feel like there's so many baby daddies and baby mamas nowadays that it's like, what the heck happened to like marriage, kids, like, and don't get me wrong, there is like times where it happens, like, and you do get pregnant and you guys end up not being together. But it's just like, so many girls and so many guys complain about who their baby mama is or who their baby daddy is. But it's like, protect yourself, protect your image, like, and you wouldn't be in the situation that you are. And I know sometimes it could be like, well, I thought I was in love with them, I thought this and that, which is perfectly fine. But it's like, then you guys are only trying to work it out for the sake of your child. And it's like, you're putting that child through stuff that is not true love. And that's how the generation keeps going and keeps coming about, is knowing that no one's putting a foot down, and no one's just being like, okay, you know what, like, no cheating, no this, no that, we're gonna make it work, and boom, like, we're gonna grow our family in a space where they know how to communicate, they know how to love, they know how to treat other people, and that's a lot of people's problems, is that they just try to make something happen when their kids don't even feel that energy from them. I feel like in order for their kid to grow up right, the mom has to be actually happy and the dad actually has to be happy, And if they're not, and they're constantly fighting behind a door or with their kid in the room, like, kids remember, kids know. And it's just like, oh, I always saw my mom and dad fighting, and it's like, damn, so that's what they're normalized to, And in my family, I never heard one one argument
Yeah.
between my mom and dad, you know? Maybe I know they would argue, but it's like
They never let you guys kind of
like
see that.
never let us see it. They, even if they were arguing or anything, it wouldn't affect what my dad does.
Yeah.
My dad would still open the car doors for all of us. My dad would still like be a man, you know? He would still like, he wouldn't let his like pride come in the way.
For sure.
He knew like he has a family and he needs to still remain the man that his dad taught him to be, you know? And I do feel like it's because my dad is older, way older, and that's a big thing of it, is back in the days things were different. And that's why he always tells us now, like, man, this shit's so sad, like it, because it is like,
I don't know, like there's, I mean, obviously there's people around me that I've seen like have a healthy relationship, healthy marriage,
right,
but it's very far few,
rare,
like in between, and a lot of people get divorces like
right away.
I can name off like maybe like, obviously I'm not gonna name drop, but I could
like,
I could name like at least like 5 like couples that were married and just kind of got a divorce, bro. Like, and I mean, it happens for sure, but I think it's just like a lot of it is obviously, I mean, things within the relationship that happen, but a lot of it is like just looking inward. I think a lot of people, like, we make a lot of excuses for ourselves nowadays,
right,
and we're very, I think you should be selfish in some ways. However, I think it's gone a little bit too far to where like we just kind of, we're very, and we think very short term about a lot of shit nowadays.
I think it's because a lot of us is like break up, make up, you know, like it's not ever like we're working through it. Like, and we need to, I feel like people need to genuinely work on themselves before entering a relationship. They need to genuinely know that they can't always break up during an argument. They can't always like just let their emotions overpower what they have as a couple together, you know? And it's a lot of like negative things that are said when people argue, and I feel like that's the worst thing, like that could break a couple up, is holding grudges as well. It's like, if an argument happens, talk it out that night and just the next day move on with it, you know? Like, you cannot hold on to a grudge, and this goes for anything. When you hold on to a grudge, you're really only holding on to things within yourself. And that's something that like I've always now done, is like just let go of the grudges and let in the forgiveness. Like, if you constantly hold something inside of you, your body is just constantly dwelling over the fact that you have some type of negativity inside of you, you know? And that's with relationships. It's just, it's a lot of things that go into it, honestly. But
well, what is social media like? How does that affect it in a way, like a relationship?
Like with posting each other?
No, just like more so like, just like, for example, like I heard about the other day where they were like, he was talking about how like if you're fighting or whatever, you can just kind of like take to social media and you kind of get that validation from everybody that like
you
anybody
need. And I feel like that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, that is the lowest of lows. Going to social media for anything is the lowest of lows.
Yeah.
Like, not handling your own problems and the issue with that own person
yeah.
is a lot of people's problems. Is you guys constantly feel the need to get validation from other people because you can't help yourself and you don't know how to help yourself. And that is a very toxic trait to have, is like realizing like, oh, my first initial reaction to do is to go to social media and try to tell other people or try to get validation from other people to feed your own ego. You know, you're constantly trying to get that validation from other people because you know that you don't have the self-confidence to get over it yourself, you know, and to fight through it yourself. And that is something that is just so toxic. And that's another thing, is like social media affects a lot of relationships, and I feel like it shouldn't have to. It really shouldn't have to. But there are evil people out there. There are people that do want to ruin someone else's relationship, or do want to ruin what they're jealous of seeing of the other people, you know? Like if they see that someone's happy, people envy happiness. Like if they're not happy within themselves. And when people go, or when couples go to other people on social media when they're fighting or when they're arguing, it's just like, you guys shouldn't be together, you know? Like you shouldn't feel the need to have to go to another woman or go to another man just to feel good about a situation or to get whatever it is that you need, your lick back, whatever, get back. You just shouldn't have to. You don't genuinely love that person. Like I truly believe that you really don't love that person, or you don't like that person as much as you think you do. And you're lying to yourself and you're lying to that other person, you know? And I just feel like that's another thing. Like you really just have to be true to yourself and just know, like, if you don't want the relationship, end it. Like it is so simple. If you don't want something with someone, don't lead it on, because you're only gonna fall into you making stupid decisions and hurting another human's emotions, another individual's emotions. And it's like, that's not cool.
Yeah,
it's not.
For sure. For someone who's like let's just say, like, I'm gonna paint out a situation for you.
Okay.
There's a sorry, I was thinking when I spit out the water. When you see someone like that came from, like, they didn't have that example growing up, and they kind of went through like a lot of trauma when it comes to like relationships and what they've seen like their parents have, and just in general they don't have the healthiest I guess relationship with that. Yeah. And they get with someone who like is the ideal person, like someone that like is there, like just a good, like a person that's ready to give you like something healthy like that. Have you seen it, or do you feel like that person who went through that trauma like can't be loved in that way, or like they don't know how to? Is that a thing?
So that's literally me and my ex. Okay.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry for talking about my ex, but
no,
this is literally our situation from years ago though. But I genuinely feel like it's the hardest shit ever. Like it is so hard because one, they don't know how to love you in your love language, and you could teach them and you could show them like this is how it's supposed to be handled, things like that. But inside of them, they have that mental blockage where it's like, well, I never saw that growing up, so how do you expect me to know it, you know? And it's a very toxic thing to have inside of them. But I feel like the hardest thing is trying to heal someone that you can't heal. Like trying to heal that wound inside of them from when they were a kid that you really can't heal. And no matter how much like they could be around your family, it's a sense of jealousy. It is a sense of jealousy, and it's so different because like say he would come to my house or whatever, it would be like anxiety, you know, like he doesn't know how to like talk, like in a way, not talk, but it was just like he didn't know how to be social.
Yeah.
Because he was so like he wasn't used to this. Like he didn't have, I have a huge family. Like I have like 30 cousins. Like we're all super close. We would get together every Sunday. Like my family's big. So like I am close to all my family, all my aunts, all my uncles. They're still together. Like not really any divorces. Like, so it's like all of us are just the same, you know? And having someone like my ex come into it, it's like, what the heck? Yeah. Like, this is so weird, you know? Because when I would go over to their family's house, it's like, you know, the stepdad, the mom, you know, like friends and like the grandma or something, you know? It's different, which not judging anyone that grows up the way that they do, but it's just so hard because it's like, okay, like you do see the difference in like my family and his family. And I feel like it will affect your relationship somewhat. I mean, you could change it. You could definitely change it. but it does affect the way things happen because you're trying to constantly teach this person how to be a man. You know, you're constantly having to teach this guy, or say it's a girl, vice versa, how to love you correctly, you know, and it could be so draining. It could be so like mentally exhausting. Like, how do you not know how to not cheat, you know? Like why is that your initial reaction? And it's like, I saw my dad doing it. Like, I don't know, you know? Yeah. Like, so it's just something that's like, bro, like.
And at some point, you take accountability. You have
yes,
to.
and that's the thing is, like, you feel so bad. Like, I felt so bad. And I was like, I don't know what to do at this point, you know? Like, we're just so different. And it sucks because, like, you do genuinely love a person and you do want, you know what they're capable of being, you know? But they can't because they're so used to like what they grew up with and how they saw everything and what they were told. And that's also another thing, like abuse. Like, if you got abused when you were a kid, like, you inherit that as you grow up, you know? You think like your initial reaction when someone cusses at you or something is to hit them, you know? Like, it's just little things that literally run in your genetics. Like, and I just think that it's really hard for you to grow up with a family of two people that do love each other and have been together for each like 30 years, you know, versus someone that saw the most traumatic things ever when they were a kid,
for sure.
You know. But I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible if that person is willing to learn and change and be open to just learning everything before things de-escalate in the wrong way.
Yeah, and they have to do it for themselves.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because like, you can want the best for somebody and you can see it, but if they don't see that in themselves, then like,
it's impossible.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's sad for sure. At the same time,
do you think
that it can I don't know, because like it's hard for me to say because I really never, like, I haven't been in like a really, really serious relationship. But I've talked to girls that like, I know that they don't come from like the best families. And it hasn't worked out because, I mean, I was in ways where like they literally were saying, we're like, yeah, I feel like I don't even know if it wasn't like an excuse or how valid it was, but like, it's like type things where like, I feel like I don't deserve you type thing.
Yeah.
Things like that where like, I feel like you're too,
when
like,
someone tells you they don't deserve you, it's
kind of like upsetting too. But it's like, I've been through that, but it's just now more that I think about it, like, I come from a very similar family. Like, I've seen my mom and dad, they've been together for forever.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, they argue and stuff, but for the most part, like, they've done things, I guess you can say, like, the right way, where it's like they never let like outside factors really get in between like them and stuff.
Yeah.
And they raised us to be the same exact way. Like, everything, like you said, your dad like values and the man he is, like, those are the same principles that I kind of grew up with, you know?
Right. And
some people aren't used to that. And like, used to kind of like get to me, but at the same time, like, I've just kind of grown to be like, well, yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But yeah, it can be a tough thing. It's crazy today, bro. Like, there's so a lot of everybody's healing. It seems like, but at the same time, like, back to your situation, it comes to a point where like you have to stop making excuses for people, because at the end of the day, like, it's all about, like, a lot of it's like, how are you feeling? Because it's a two-way thing. Like, if you're not happy, I mean, then that's tough too.
Yeah.
So. And a lot of people sacrifice their own happiness
for another person.
Yeah, and that can be, I mean, pretty bad, right?
Very toxic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like because like you said, you've been a lot more just like closer to God and stuff, would you be able to date someone who isn't? Do you feel like that could work?
I don't know. I feel like now all my friendships and all like the people that I'm close to, the middleman is God, you know? I feel like I could date someone that like has, how do I put it? As long as you're not, as long as you don't like, I don't know.
Like, so, all right.
I can't.
To make it,
I feel like if you've never tried to know God, or if you never tried to like learn about God, but you're open to like going to church and like open to like putting God in the middle of situations and things like that, and just reading a Bible, like just trying to install God in your life, then yes. But if you're just like, screw that, like all that stuff, no, I can't. Like, because I feel like we won't relate on a lot of things. Like, no, we just won't relate on a lot of things that we go through in life.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, whatever happens, and like, I'm not going to argue with someone that is like, no, like this, you know, like, no, like, it is what it is, you know?
For sure. That makes sense. Like, someone who actually has, because I don't know, from my perspective, like, I think, because I know people that are really good people, but they don't even necessarily like are in, they don't consider themselves like really religious or spiritual. But it's just kind of, in a way, there's something guiding like their morals and their beliefs and everything. And they're still good people, but it's like, I definitely think it's religion, or like just like faith and spirituality. It's just, I think it's just a better, or maybe an easier way, not easier, but it's a little bit more accessible for someone like that can guide someone in the right direction for the most part, you know, as opposed to someone who's not like involved with God and religion and things like that, you know?
Right. Yeah, I do. There is a lot of good people, and they might not be religious or anything, which is perfectly fine. It's just like, me personally, I just feel like there is so many situations that God has pulled people out of when they're good people, and it's because like it is God like pulling you out of those situations, you know? And even if you don't fully believe, like, or you have so many questions about him or anything like that, it's like, read the Bible. Like, everything is in there. Like, that's when like I started realizing, because I would have so many like questions, like, how did he do this if this, you know, like, what is this if this? And it's just like, read the Bible. And I started reading it, and I'm just like, little by little, I'm just getting all the answers that I was questioning, you know? And it's just like, dang, like, the whole time I was questioning him, like, it's literally written, you know? And I think it's crazy, because everything that happens in this world, all the birth pains that we go through, like, we do have our breakthrough. Like, even though there was a huge birth pain during COVID, like, right now it's not as bad, you know? Like, we're finally getting through a breakthrough, which there is still COVID happening, but it's like not as drastic as it was.
Prime example.
Right. But yeah, and it talks about that. Yeah. Like, even everything that we go through in life, it's like, we knew it was coming. Like, we knew it was coming. It's just people are always so shocked because they see it on the internet and they see it on social media, and then they're like, oh, what is this that we saw in the sky, like this and this, you know? Like, and it's like, it's written. Like, it is literally written. And a lot of people are just so social media stuck that they believe everything that they read on Instagram and Twitter and things like that, and they're always like, oh, what the, like, we who knew about this? Like, what is this that's going on in the world? And it's like, people knew ahead that this was gonna happen, you know? Like, and yeah, I just feel like a lot of people are just so into reading what's online and not reading in general.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
But I mean, I don't judge anyone that is not close to God or that doesn't, because at one point I was straight away from God. I was like, but I don't think that I would have any relationship with someone that I can't talk to about him, you know?
Yeah. What do you feel like your biggest strength is? Or that other people tell you like this is your best characteristic?
Best characteristic.
Yeah. Yeah. Internal. Yeah.
Oof. I don't know. A lot of people just say I have good energy. Like, I have very, like, they feel like they could be comfortable. Like, they could tell me anything, you know? Like, and I'll be able to give them advice without people taking it as, like, a they'll take it as constructive criticism rather than an argument, you know? Like, I don't appreciate when people are quick to argue or like and not understand, you know, or aren't good at communication. And I'm super good at communication, and I'm super good at being there for a person. Like, I have a big heart, a very big heart for like the people that I love, for random people. And when people take advantage of that and try to play with me or my name and try to argue with it rather than like talk about it or like talk about a situation, it rubs me the wrong way, because I am so big on like energy. Like, I am so big on energy, and there's so many times where I meet people, like random people, and they're like, girl, like, your energy is so dope. And I'm like, thanks. Like, you know, like, it's cool, like, that people are quick to pick up on energy, because I am also, like, I feel like I could tell when a person has a negative, like an envious vibe right away, you know? And that's why now, like, in the bar scene, like, I could really pick up negative energy, you know?
For sure.
Because I've just tuned so into mine, and people have noticed that, you know?
Yeah.
People are like, damn, like, what got into you? Like, you just, like, change, and it's like, yeah, you know, like, change is good.
Yeah,
change is good.
Sure. And what I actually heard or like read was like women are actually like scientifically they're like better at men than like picking up on just like their emotional intelligence is like really good.
Yeah, that's emotional intelligence.
Yeah, like you can be in a situation like a room or just something, and you guys are just, not everyone of course, but for the most part just men, or better than men in general, at just picking up like just certain social cues and just energy, like you said.
I could pinpoint like the people that I'm like, like, I don't know, I don't really like, I wouldn't want to associate myself with them, you know, like things like that. But it took me a while to learn. During the 12 weeks, it took me that amount of time to learn and to start picking up on that, because I just don't need to be around none of that in 2024. No negative energy. I'm hoping everyone literally has the best year of their life, because 2023 was so hard.
Yeah.
I feel like on a lot of people, 2023 has been hard.
Yeah.
Like, mentally, physically, emotionally.
Was it one of the hardest years for you?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But 2024 is personal.
2024 is personal. Yeah. Standing on business.
All 2024.
No, literally. I feel like this year is gonna be great. This year is gonna be great for all of us.
I agree. It started off pretty good. Besides like the Rona, other than that, like, it's just been like, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
What is something that you are like you're really focused on achieving, either? Yeah, I would say in like the next, like, if you look ahead like 5 years, like, where do you want to be? What do you want to do?
You see, that's so hard because I live in the moment.
Okay.
I live in the moment. I don't even know if I'm going to be here in 5 years if it's not part of my plan. No, but in 5 years, I just feel like being the absolute best version of myself. Like, I feel like this next year, like, it's like the start of this new era that I'm in, you know, this new like lifestyle that I'm gonna live, you know. And then next year it's gonna be like, okay, what did I not do last year that I could do this year? And it's like, okay, maybe I'll start something new with my brand, you know, maybe I'll start. But in 5 years, I just feel like at that point, I'm just like gonna be unstoppable. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be unstoppable, whether it's just me knowing myself I'm unstoppable or people knowing like Logan like is just on a mission, you know, like on a roll. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really tell you guys what I see myself doing in 5 years because I'm living in the moment right now, and I feel like that's what my issue was. I was trying to get too ahead of myself before and thinking like, oh, I need to get it done by this day, this day, this day. And it's like, sit back, relax, and just let it flow.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
Sit back and then work hard as fuck, but
No,
also,
but like relax in the sense of like,
yeah, no, for sure.
Like, don't stress about what you need to do.
Yeah.
Just stress about what's in the moment.
Yes, I agree, for sure. I think, I don't know if this will. I think it'll pertain to you. What do you want your loved ones or people you care about, or just people around you? What do you want them to remember you for?
Dang, these are some like really thinking questions. I would want them to know how, like, my family. Are you talking about just my family or like just people in general?
Like the impact you want to leave.
Oh, like social media, everything.
Everything, like just if you weren't here, like what would you want your impact to be on them?
Oh, damn. She's a good person. Literally. I think I help people before I help myself. And that's something that it's a bad thing, but I do I give so much advice to other people that I can't take myself. And I feel like that is something that I would want people to be appreciative of. If I ever did, like, not say go, but like if I ever did pass or anything, it's like knowing that I care. I would have rather had another person be happy than me be satisfied. You know, like I rather them feel good about a situation, and I know I'm going to be able to overcome it, but like don't worry about me, you know? Like I'm worrying about you, I'm helping you, giving you advice. If I don't take my own advice, like I got me, you know? But I just feel like I want them to know that I'm a helping hand. I'm a helping hand when it's necessary and when it's needed.
Yeah. You put others before you. I think that's, in a way, I know what you're saying when like it's maybe not the best thing, because I know people like that. Like my sister's like that. And sometimes she's like, I guess when people don't do the same or reciprocate it, it can kind of like feel like shit, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't think that should change you, you know? I think it's a beautiful thing where like if you could put someone else before yourself, I mean, that's one of the best things you can do, honestly.
Yeah.
So, no, I think that's good.
What would yours be?
What I want people to, like the impact I want? Yeah, I think it's just the same. I just want like more so like I always think about being just a light. Just knowing that like people, yeah, like I was a light for people. Like if I was in a room with somebody or like I met somebody, I just want them to feel like just a really like, oh, like he was a light, like his aura, his
outshined.
Yeah, his energy just was so amazing that like it left an impact on me. And he told me something that
I remember. I'll remember.
Or I just his presence, because like you said, the energy's huge. Like you can just feel when someone is genuine in a way. And so like I just want like anybody who I meet or any rooms I walk into, I just want them to like, yeah, that was a really genuine person, and maybe he inspired me to do like something or just get out of a really tough situation, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's what I would want. Yeah. Do you have any other questions for me?
Let's see. I have some.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Just kidding. No, I just only wrote 2. Okay, honestly, we're gonna get some pretty personal.
All right. I'm gonna because the battery might die, so I'm gonna change it.
Okay. Why do men cheat?
Ooh. Damn, if I knew we was gonna do that, I would have brought some. So, nah, I'm just kidding.
Juicier questions.
Nah. Well, that's a good question though.
Okay, wait. Have you ever cheated?
No.
Good job.
Thanks. But I mean, it's a very common thing, unfortunately.
Or wait, let me rephrase it. Okay. Do you think your friends impact? You think your friend group changes the type of man you are sometimes?
100%. 100%. Yeah, for sure. You can have, I mean, let's just state like the facts. Like you can be around people who are not going to encourage you. Like, for example, to cheat. Like, it's not going to be like a known thing, but at the same time, just the way they carry themselves, like, especially if you go out and just the way, if you're around that and it's more so like, let's just say you go out in your relationship, if they're more on that, like they're feeding into that, like they're going to be, you're going to be around girls and they're putting you in situations,
right?
Because you can be put in situations and they might not even be cognizant of that, or they know that you're in a relationship and like, I don't know. It's just a thing with dudes. Like at the same time, it's a weird thing where like, let's see if I can explain this right. Like you saw your friend like that was in a relationship, like trying to like hit up on this girl, right? Or that was outside. Like a lot of my guys might see it as like, yo, like I'm not gonna be the one to like tell him like, bro, like, no. Like kind of hold him accountable to that. But for sure, your environment can definitely play a huge role in that, for sure. And I mean, just to answer like the first question, I think there can be so many factors because I mean, a lot of it has to do, like I guess in the relationship. I just don't like personally. Like I don't like when like there's an excuse out there like people talk about like it's the reason a guy cheats is different for the reason a girl cheats. Like I don't know if you hear people say that.
Yeah.
And
you think there's different reasons?
There might be, but it's just it doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, like it's
still cheating.
Exactly. Like it's more so like
it's still cheating. Just kidding.
For sure. And I hear a lot of people say that. I've heard this too. Especially men, they'll say you've only never cheated because you never had an opportunity to, or you've never, And
disgusting.
So, yeah, like you haven't been put in that situation. And honestly, it's just like, to me, it's really about just discipline at the end for a guy. And if you love someone enough, and like if you got into a relationship with someone, like you literally have an obligation to them. And you should feel the need to like, and that doesn't say that there's not going to be temptation, but that's the whole point of that, That's
amen,
right? Like it's just that's literally the point of you being in a relationship. Like
the temptation is real.
Yeah, and to say that we don't all experience it, I mean we do, and people make mistakes, they do. But at the same time, you have to hold yourself accountable, like to the highest standard. So yeah. What do you think?
Good job. I'm like you answered that. You answered that good.
Why do you feel like? Do you feel like women?
No, I literally was about to say like I feel like it's temptation, and temptation has a lot to do with having alcohol in your system as well. That can play a role. Like that's a big factor. It's like you're free, like you're like in the screw it mood. Your fuck it meters like just like at 100. Yeah, it's like, and 10. Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, but I agree. I feel like girls cheat in a kind of different way, just because girls usually cheat when the man, which isn't right either, but when the man isn't giving her what she's supposed to be receiving, you know?
Yeah.
Or like he's not treating her how she's supposed to be treated.
Physically, mentally, everything.
Yeah, like everything. So she seeks validation from another man and tries to put his characteristics and another person's characteristics and be like, oh, okay, damn, like I'm getting satisfied from both. Like, you know, like just because they have such different type of like, this one can be like gift giving and like opening doors and stuff, but this one can like reassure you like in a way, but you want all those love language put together that you're just like, damn, I like both, you know, like, and it's just like, it's toxic, it is, but it's like that. I feel like that is mainly girls' mentalities, is like you strive to receive something from another man that you're not receiving in yours.
Yeah. And for a man, what do you think it is?
A man, honestly, I just think they think with their dick.
Yeah. A lot of the times, yeah.
Like it's like it's a little too much, but it's like just for satisfaction for one night, you know. It's like, and it's nothing that comes out of it, but it's like he got satisfied and now you fucked up.
Yeah,
you know,
and
like
for the most part, I think it's like I think there can be situations where I know like guys, like they may not feel like they're being heard out by a girl.
You see, and that's why I think men's mental health matters so much. Like, but it also has to do with you guys not communicating too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a lot of men will just be like, oh, it's not manly of me to express my feelings, you know? But it's because you're not with the right girl if you can't express your feelings.
Yeah.
And you're not with the right person if you can't be vulnerable to a person.
Yeah.
Especially who you're in a relationship with. Like, it's just not going to work out.
Yeah.
If you can't be your full self. If you can't cry in front of your partner, I don't know, like, without getting judged, like, without feeling like you're going to get judged or it be used against you, like.
Oh, I know a lot of guys who are terrified of crying in front
of their partner, yeah.
Have you had guys cry in front of you? Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, it's like, thank you, like, for showing your emotional side. Like, I'd rather a man cry than a man act so nonchalant, like, and act like he doesn't care, you know, like, but then suffer at home and just, like, hide it at home. And a lot of guys, okay, yes, you guys hide your emotions good. I'm like, but it's like, just show your feminine side. It's okay to show, like, a feminine side on a guy, you know, like, not fully feminine, but it's just, like, emotions they think are feminine, like, and it's like not holding up to your masculine side to where you have to be strong all the time. Like, you could be soft, men could be soft, and I feel like it's the self-doubt that men have that they're gonna get judged by their homies, you know, like hearing it from another girl, like, oh, well, your bro cried in front of me, and then it's all the guys like, oh, dog, like, you cried in front of her, like, damn. And then it's like you guys just feel a sense of, like, uncomfortableness because you guys are gonna get judged. Yeah. But you guys wouldn't get judged if it was with the right person.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, for sure. Damn, I was gonna say something too, bro. We were talking about, all right, crying, being someone. It just slipped my mind, bro.
I was gonna say something too.
What was the original question? Oh, cheating, right? Okay, wait. Yep, it's not coming. Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all good. Maybe it'll come again.
Yeah. What's your biggest ick, like, in a girl?
Can you define ick? I kind of know what it means, but
like a sense of, like, like, why are you like that? Like, what is it that gives you, like, that type of, like, oh yeah, no.
I think it's really easy. It's just more so, like, just when someone's not kind, or, like, just not Yeah, it's more so when like if I talk to someone and I feel like they're just very like just kind of for no reason, they're just kind of like
Mean
it doesn't have to
person.
rude or like just like just unapproachable, you know.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
And it's hard because I know for women like I'm sure like they probably get approached a lot, especially if it's a guy. But it's just it can be it's like sometimes you just don't have to be like that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, and it's not even an ick, but yeah, I think it's just someone who like just really hold I guess it's more so what I look for, you know. I just think people who hold themselves to like the highest standard, and I don't mean that in like a pretentious way, but just like just wanting better for themselves, you know.
It gives you an ick.
No, like I
Oh, I
want
was
that.
like,
So the opposite of that
oh,
is like
okay.
I guess not.
I was like,
What?
what?
Yeah. The opposite of that I guess would be like not just not really wanting the like just
Best for yourself.
yeah. And that's kind of like that can get cut kind of deep, but it really is like just because I expect that for myself,
Self,
you
yeah.
know. What about you?
I don't know, an ick from a guy. There's a lot, honestly, that gave
I think
me.
there might be a little bit like I'm gonna say this. It may not be like the it's just more so like and it's more about alcohol.
Uh-huh.
It can be very unattractive sometimes when a girl like doesn't know how to act. And I know it's like it's alcohol. It has an influence on them, but at the same time like there's certain things I see where it's like, bro, like you were attractive and like I was liking you and then you just did something where it's just like, nah, I
Yeah.
can't.
True.
Is that valid?
True. That's valid.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. I think an ick would be when. Oof. I don't.
What about when a guy like talks a lot? Like he's very like he kind of
What do you mean by talks a lot though?
just very
Because like we talk a lot, but it's like good combo.
yeah. I mean like just talks about of themselves. Like it's just very.
Oh my
like,
god. No. Like okay, confidence is great.
Yeah.
Like I go you know, when you're fine, you know you're good looking. But like it's that overly like I got this, like bragging. I feel like would just be like I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like I really don't care about your materialistic things that like you're trying to flex. I feel like a lot of guys try doing that to like, because a lot of girls do think like, oh, damn, he has money, you know, like, or things like that. And it's like, it's not going to work with me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. In the most respectful way. It's like, that's not going to get my attention.
Yeah. It kind of, it's hard because that's what is being like just kind of talked to, or like that's what's kind of being what's the word, like spread like nowadays to men is like you gotta like a girl's really gonna like you for like your
money,
exactly what like the resources you have, and in a way it's more so about like there's a little bit of truth to that, I feel like, but
as a man you should be able to like provide
yeah,
but not like
you don't have to be like flaunting
like
that
flaunting it. Like if you're gonna lose money quicker by flaunting it, because I feel like most people that flaunt what kind of cars they have, things like that, it's just like you don't really got it like that then, you know, because you're being so like
most of
showy over what your highest amount of value items are, you know. And it's like, okay, true, like I don't know.
Most of the people that I know got it like that are like the most low key
type of people.
For sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. But that's an ick. But it's not like too much because I don't even text those people back. Another one, I think it would be probably, there's a lot of different icks, but in different like ways. Because if I were to say like when I meet people when I'm out, like, I don't like a man that thinks he could be touchy. You know, like, the moment you, like, try touching or, like, moving like me, like, oh, excuse me, and like trying to like that will literally trigger me, like the
Yeah.
like it triggers me. It's like, you don't have to touch me like that, you know. And then they're like, oh, like, you're beautiful, and it's like, ew, like, get out of my face, you know, like that is. And a lot of guys do that, like a lot of guys, and that's a big, like, I will slap you like if you touch me like that.
Yeah.
And that's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's a lot of just different little things, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like just being too touchy and then being too overly like cocky about yourself.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to be humble.
Yeah, I agree. What about what's an ideal first date for you? What would you like?
I'm honestly not big on dates. Like, I do like dates, but I feel like anything can be a date. Like,
So it doesn't have to be like anything.
Like, you don't have to tell me, like, I would like the, like, get ready, I'm gonna pick you up at 8, like, things like that. But I don't care for, like, the highest end dinner, you know, or anything like that. Like, we could literally go to Peter Piper and I'll be good. Like,
yo, Peter Piper's fine
smacks.
too. Yeah.
As long as I get that cinnamon toast.
Dude.
Cinnamon.
Yo, is it just me? Or like, do you like the ice cream from there? Or it's like all right. It's just,
it's because it's been tasting like too watery.
Oh, so you've been recently.
Like, yes.
It's been a while since I went.
Like last week. No, it's like too watery.
No, I feel that. Damn, what happened?
I don't know, but the pizza still smacks.
No, for sure.
That cinnamon still smacks.
The wings are solid. They're pretty good.
The wings have always been all right.
Yeah.
Wingstop be smacking. I'll go there on my first date.
Bro, like, it's not, yeah.
I don't really, like, I don't need to go to Roots Chris. I don't need to go to West Texas. I don't need to go, no. I could go.
Yeah. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is, I mean, solid in my opinion.
Solid 10 out of 10.
For sure.
But yeah. I mean, and yours? Like, what's your ideal date?
Well, like, if I were gonna like take a girl, like, honestly, it's just like my vibe is just like coffee, like just coffee. I love coffee shops.
Yeah.
That's just like that's my world. You know, that's my thing. So that's what I like. Outdoors stuff is pretty cool, but
it's cold.
Yeah, it's cold right now. It's a little tough, a little windy too. Low key, I've always wanted to go to like Barnes and Noble. I feel like that'd be like a nice little
date.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, like I think I keep it pretty.
Because they're just quiet. You don't have to talk.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even have to talk to them.
You're like, just be quiet and enjoy.
Just enjoy this piece, you know.
That's so funny.
No, for sure. Yeah, I think I'm pretty simple in that way. Like, I don't think you have to. Like, I think for men, if I were to give, like, I mean, I don't even know if I should be giving advice on this, but it's like just clean your car, make sure your shit's like clean, bro. Like, just like, I don't know, just like present yourself that like you actually take care of yourself and
facts,
have fun. And
that's a ick, honestly. A dirty man. Like, you go to their place and it's all over the place. Like, like, skedaddle.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But yeah,
we love an organized man.
Yeah, for sure. I usually ask this question to everybody. What's something you'd say to someone right now who's just going through just a really tough time? What's advice you would give them?
Tough times don't last. Tough people do.
Damn.
Yep. Stay strong. Stay strong, and you're going to get through it. Like, whatever battle it is that you're fighting and whatever mental blockage that you're going through or whatever situation that you feel like you can't get through, you can and you will. And I feel like you just know that you're not alone. You are not alone. There's someone out there fighting the same battle as you are, or someone out there that has overcame the same battle that you're fighting. So know that there is hope, and your hope will be found with the promises of the path that God has for you.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah. Well, that's episode 25.
Nice.
Of The Most Vulnerable Player, with Logan Maxwell.
Yep.
Yeah. What you got going on? Just as far as like what can people expect from you in like just the next months, as far as like your clothing or just like what you got going on social media and stuff?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I'm pushing content on my fitness account, which is Max Out Athletics. I'm having a clothing brand drop next month on my birthday. Stay tuned for that, which is on my Cash Cans page. We're organizing. Me and my brother are currently organizing all that. I'll be having my birthday event, all that stuff coming up. March is my brother's birthday, so we have, of course, another drop. April, another drop. It's just going to constantly, 2024, I'm saying it is so personal and it is so our year. Like, we are just in our grind mode this year, and we are just pushing everything that we need to. If we fail at something, we are not letting it stop us. We are just going to keep on going, striving, growing, and I can't wait to push content on YouTube as well. I am going to start doing YouTube again, TikTok again. So slowly but surely just picking up back on the social media aspect of everything and not letting shit affect me. Not letting anything affect me. Before, I would go through anxiety on social media and things like that, but now it's like, it's grind time, baby. It is grind time.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you too. I'm glad you're starting this, and I'm glad you're doing everything that you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you being on too.
I'm still waiting for the daily vlog.
Oh, that's coming.
I'm like, come on, where's the edit at?
Yeah, I'm editing that like tomorrow, and it's gonna be put out this week. So
all right, yep. Stay tuned for his video.
Yeah. But yeah, that's episode 25. You can find this on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. I'm sure there's other ones that we should get on, but those are the 3 right now.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, until next time, y'all. Peace.
Peace.